All right, traders, let's get into a bit of a market update. Let's go. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, let's get straight into this market update. And let me just show you what I see on the chart itself. So let's actually go over to this view here. This one right here, and and let's have a look at what the indices and all the market's been doing and stuff like that. So let's get straight into it now, and let's have a look. So firstly, I wanted to look at the Sp500. Sp500, you can see how it came down. It came all the way back up and closed where it is right there, like a bit of reversal. Had an increase in volume as well too. So you can see here that this overall, you can see on the Sp500 that there is a bit of support level through here, and that's where the market was finding support through there. So that's what I do see on the support level, and that's where it is right now. That's where it rejected. If it does break that, say tomorrow or whatever, then we're likely to head down. So, but even if we do start to head up, we're in a whole bunch of area resistance through here. So I'm expecting down movement moving into October. Moving into October there. So that's the S&P. Dow Jones did the same thing as well too. You can see here around about this sort of support level through here. Okay, you can see how it came down, closed there, had a big up bar through here as well too, much increase in volume as well too, came through there. I would expect, guys, this market to, if it does have a little run up, to falter through here and then head straight back down through there. So if you have a look at the smaller time frame charts, let's bring everything off the screen here and say look at the hourly charts. You can see here what I'm looking at. You can see here the market's been making lower peaks, lower troughs, lower peaks. It's head back up to this area of resistance, and then had a little reject down. This is on the hourly chart anyway. If I bring up those trend lines, you can see here what's happened and what's happening through there. This is the whole bunch of area resistance where it is right now. And it looks like this last hour here, or last second hour, we had a big spike. I think that was from Janet Yellen, whatever her name is. She spoke yesterday, and so you can see what's happening through there on the Dow Jones. So I do expect if we get a bit, if we do get a bit more upside, guys, that we're likely to see, coming down towards the lows into October, because October is generally at least the first half of October is generally a weak month anyway. So looking at the Russell, the same thing as well too. Every bit of one of these is actually at an area of support level through here. You can see the support level came back up, closed there, and held very closely through there. So even if you get a run back to the high side, I'm expecting overall for it to run back down towards these lows through here, moving into October. And same with the Nasdaq as well too. Same sort of thing as well too. But this one actually closed higher. So this one actually gave a higher close on the bar. This one here was a lower close, Dow Jones lower close, S&P lower close, and obviously Nasdaq higher close with a bit more of a spike in volume. And so what that means, I'm not really sure. There's not really a true strength through there at the time, but we can just see what's happening through there as well too. Looking at the weekly chart, guys. A bit look on the weekly chart. This one here is really gonna sort of show you what's actually happening overall long term. You can see here how the markets ran back up, came down, came back up, and we're creating this sort of weekly bar through here right now on the Nasdaq. On the Russell, we can see the same thing as well too. We came straight down through here, and we gave this little down bar through here. So even if we do get a little upward movement, guys, I'm expecting the sellers to come in and then ram this straight back down, and possibly even go back down towards a sort of a 5 to 10% down move down towards these lows through here, especially on the Russell. The Russell, you can see that this overall, this overall resistance level through here, it came up, rejected, and this is where we're at right now. So I'm expecting at least these lows to be touched moving forward through to next week. So that's obviously the Nasdaq, the Russell, Dow Jones. Dow Jones, we can see how the market rejected off there. It sort of broke out of this level through here, and then we're having a bit of a down bar. So I'm expecting, once again, I'm expecting the market to come down to test these lows here, especially on the weekly chart. And also you can see here on this weekly chart as well too, that if the market does come up, even if it does rally back up into this sort of 1955 area, I believe that's likely to be a lot of resistance. In fact, the resistance for me would be the bottom of this bar. So if the market does rally back up, you know, moving in towards there, which is the sort of the 1950 level, then I believe the sellers are likely to come in and then head it straight back down, having a movement to the downside, moving forward through to next week. So any upward movement, guys, I just see a lot more downward movement to come moving forward on that there. Gold has continued to rise up. You can see on the weekly chart that gold is now really starting to rise up a lot. It's completely broken above this level through here. It's completely now starting to, it's now shot back above that long-term chart there as well too, as you can see. And you can see here now this big upward move on gold, which hey, I'm okay with that. Cool, just go. You know what I mean? I'm on a straddle, and I've got, I think it's not exactly sure what call option I've got, but gold is really starting to move to the high side. Once again, on the weekly chart, you can really see this high trough now breaking up through there. Big up day, a big sort of up movement on gold. As you can see here, once again, let's bring this chart up through here. As you can see, a nice big update through here on gold, and you can see how it's really starting to move to the high side. You can see here on the weekly chart that it's at this resistance here, but I'm expecting a lot more upward movement with gold. We did get a big gap up through there. That's cool. You're going to keep rallying up, then hey, I'm okay with that as well. So anyway, guys, that's what I do. That's what I am looking at. Sort of gold there. You can see gold is where it is right now, and what's happening with that as well too. And the VIX is starting to spike just a little bit here, and that could be something there. So one thing I do say, guys, is the Treasury bond market. Okay, the Treasury bond market. I do believe, guys, that or the bonds market. This is obviously the 20-year Treasury. What I do see, guys, on the bond market is that I want to talk about, you know, the bond market in itself. So, I'm actually just trying to find the code there. Anyway, we'll just use this chart here. So anyway, guys, I just want to quickly give you an update on the bonds chart there. That if you think about this for a minute, guys. Okay, I think it's the 1st of October that the Fed's got to come out and start making a payment towards the debt that it's been making. I'm pretty sure it's on the 1st of October, and from that they're going to default. Okay, every single country defaults, and when they default, guess what happens? The market goes down, right? So I'm not saying this is a guaranteed trade. You know, they might make a payment. I'm not saying just put a trade on this one here, but something for you guys to think about, that hey, there's an announcement coming out, they're probably going to default, and if the default happens, guess what's going to happen to bonds? Because the bonds is where the credit market and stuff like that, you know, the bonds is with the bonds market. You can see that with the bonds market, you can see that they're basically, that's where all the credit and all that sort of stuff lies when you're going through that. So anyway, guys, that's a bit of a market update, and also something to think about. Bonds is obviously where all the credit and all that sort of stuff happens with the United States, and if they default, then obviously we're likely to get a downward movement in bonds. And so that's something that you might want to consider and might want to look at, and then see if it does, actually have that. Okay. As I said before, the bond market, also known as the debt market or the credit market, is the financial market where participants can issue a new debt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, so just reading off a little screen on the side here. That's one thing, guys, I want you to realize there as well too. Okay, so don't be too surprised moving into October that we do start to get some treasury, that we do start to get the bond market really starting to hammer to the downside, based on the government defaulting on their payments to start making payments. So I think it's the 1st of October. So it's basically 5 days from now, and I do believe we're going to start getting some big movement on the bond market moving down, and that may be even enough to scare the United States market and get that to pull down as well too at the same time. So anyway, guys, here's some things to think about. Have an amazing weekend. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.